Good morning YouTube, my name is Joey and welcome back to my channel. In this channel we talk all about home decor and how to make your home into a cozy space and beautiful space on a budget. In today's video, we're going to be diving into 5 ways that you can improve your home and make it look a little bit more high-end, a little bit more cozy. Full disclosure, I am not a professional. I'm not an interior designer. I am just here to give you guys some information based on what I've seen when it comes to interior design do's and don'ts. And so throughout the time that I pretty much been in love with interior design and decor, I picked up a few things here and there, educated myself a bit, and I want to bring you guys this information because it could be helpful for you if you want to do this in your homes. So let's get started. The very first thing I would say that is really important and really crucial, and this is a big one: stay away from furniture sets. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of people, a lot of companies, especially here if you are from the RGV area, businesses really want to sell you this idea that when you go into a furniture store, you need to buy the entire set, the entire collection, from the sofas to the side tables to the coffee tables, to the beds to the dressers. They want to convince you that you need all of that, when in reality you don't. In fact, your home and your space will actually look a lot better if you don't bring in furniture sets. Now, why do I say this? So a lot of times your home, think of it as it is your space, right? Designed by you, decorated by you, and it tells your story. If you go into a furniture business, for example, and you buy the complete set, then it's really no longer you. It starts being more of something that was copied, something you brought in, something that looks exactly like someone else's home. And you don't want to do that to your space. You want your space to feel unique, and you want it to look unique as well. They're even selling you pieces of art. They're selling you all these decor pieces that you don't need. Instead of that, go ahead and look for a sofa you like, and maybe 2 side chairs, for example, ottomans, for instance. If you're looking to your living room, go and buy a different side table. Go buy a different coffee table from a whole different place, right? Some great places to go to and get a lot of these items are going to be Home Goods. And why? Because Home Goods doesn't sell you furniture sets. Every piece is unique. Every piece is going to be different. TJ Maxx also has some really amazing things. Even Ross. IKEA, for example, is a really good place to also buy a lot of items on a budget. So really think about bringing those items in. I don't do furniture sets. I never have. I've never kind of been interested in them. Even me, having 2 sofas are exactly the same kind of irritates me a little bit, and I really can't wait till I get something new to replace at least one of those sofas. But really, definitely making your space unique is a big one. If you already have a furniture set, maybe think about moving that piece of furniture to a different room, for instance. So let's say that you have the furniture set already for your bedroom. Can you switch out the dresser for a different one? Can you put that dresser in a different room, for instance? Thinking about doing that can really elevate your space and make it look like it's designed particularly by you versus a furniture store. Now, the second thing that I think will really elevate your space, and that maybe you're not making the most of the space that you have, and this is a really nice design trick that you can incorporate it. So a lot of us are not taking advantage of the height of our ceilings, and so the best way to do that is to draw your eye up. It's going to be to use high curtains, to use taller curtains. So let's try our best to stay away from the 84-inch curtains. You want to draw your eye up, okay? It's gonna make your space feel bigger. It's gonna make it also feel more high-end, and it's gonna do a design trick that's going to really enhance your space. So I would say anything about 95 and above when it comes to your curtain length is going to be really great. Okay, in my home I have about 96 curtains, and I love it because, of course, my windows are not that high, but it gives the illusion, right, that the window expands and that it is taller. And so it really creates a different dynamic in your area. And so I think that's a really nice design trick that you can use. Great places to find taller curtains are going to be IKEA. That's usually my go-to, where I get them from all the time. You can also find them at Home Goods. They also have a really nice selection. And you can also look at Walmart and Target.com, which is typically where you will find great deals as well. Okay, so really think about incorporating that, because it's going to really make a difference and a huge impact in your spaces. Now, one of the other things that I think that really makes a huge difference in our spaces is going to be what is on our walls. Okay, that's going to make an impact as well. When people walk into your home, is visually what are they seeing? Are they seeing like a complete blank canvas with nothing on the wall area, or are they seeing picture frames and artwork, right? Because again, that's going to tell your story. But one of the things about artwork or picture frames is people tend to make the mistake of hanging them too high. You don't want to hang picture frames too high. What you want to do is that you want to be able to hang your picture frames and your artwork at eyes level. Okay, kind of towards what the middle might look like of your eye. So for example, sometimes I have seen, for instance, that maybe in a living room, right, we have a particular piece of art that we really love, but it is very high up from the sofa, and a lot of times what that does is that it doesn't feel like your space is put together all in one. It kind of feels like they're two different things, two separate things, versus it coming together as one full piece. And so really that's the design element that a lot of times can make a huge impact in your space, because obviously you put that piece of art in that area because you want it to stand out. You want it to become part of that living room, for example, or part of that bedroom. And so a lot of times when you hang it too high, it feels like it's separate, and it doesn't feel like it comes together all in one. So that's another design trick that I think can really elevate and enhance your space. Now, when talking about artwork and picture frames, what you have on your walls, a lot of times I think that the bigger the better, depending on what space you have. A lot of times we have this big, huge wall to work with, but we put in a very small frame or a very small canvas or piece of art, and that typically doesn't work well. And so what you want to do is that you want to go and be able to purchase, or you already have some at home, bring in some of those bigger elements, bigger artwork, bigger picture frames. Okay, so for example, and I know this can be expensive, so one trick that I love to use are going to be poster frames. They're very inexpensive. You can find them for as cheap as $5-7, particularly at Walmart. A lot of times what's going to make your pictures look really great is having matting around it, which means having that white space around that photo itself. That's going to enhance and elevate your frames completely, and it's going to give it that designer look. So even if your photo is this small and it's tiny, you have a huge area to work with. Think about how you can go out and buy either a picture frame or a poster frame that's going to have matting on it and really give it that designer touch and make it look bigger. And the very last design trick that I have for you guys is going to be about rugs. I am a fanatic of rugs. I love them. I probably have too many of them. What does a rug do to your space? So what a rug is going to do is it's going to bring in a cozy factor. A rug really warms up the space for you. The other thing that it does is that it allows your space to come together as one piece versus separate pieces floating around. When we don't have a rug in our area, it kind of feels like your couch, your coffee table, your dining room table, they're all floating. A rug really enhances that idea of that they're one piece and that they should go on together. So rugs are really great, but definitely think of the size of the actual rug. A lot of us might be getting smaller rugs for our spaces that are not really going to bring that area put together factor. So you want to go for bigger scale rugs. A design trick that's going to really enhance it is going to be this rule. At least every piece in your area should touch that rug. So for instance, I don't have a huge rug in my living room. So something that I did was that I purchased two rugs. They're the same rugs, but I put them side by side, and so it creates a bigger rug, but they're two separate pieces coming together. And so that way my sofas and my coffee tables are touching that rug and they're in one space. Your TV stand does not have to touch it. Anything else you have doesn't have to touch it, as long as it touches your furniture pieces when it comes to your sofas. Even your side tables if it's that big enough, but for sure your sofas and your coffee tables should be touching that same rug. So again, rugs can be pretty expensive, but think about how you can work around that. You can also go visit the dollar bins. I've seen them in multiple places, and so that's actually where I've gotten several of my rugs too, because you can get a really good size rug very inexpensive. I think I got a 9x10 for about $30, which is a really nice piece. I also have one in my bedroom area that I keep. Your bedroom is great for a rug too, but it really brings in a cozy factor and brings in that designer look. So rugs are really crucial. So think about how you can incorporate that in your bedroom, in your living room, and even in your dining room as well, because that can really make an impact in your space and make it look a lot more designer-like. Alright guys, well that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content that I had today. I know it was a little bit different, but I do hope that I was able to provide some insight to you on maybe changes that you could be making in your home, or if you choose not to, that's perfectly fine, because again, I'm not a professional. I just want to give you some ideas that you could do in your home to make it look a little bit more elevated and make it look more designer-like. You are the creator. You are the person designing your home. You are the person that loves what you love, and always do what you love. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, what I have to say, because at the end of the day, it's your home and your space, and you get to live in it. You get to be there. You get to spend your time in it with your family, and remember that your home is gonna equal love. And so definitely try to work really hard on making sure that you love that space, that it feels cozy to you, that it's a space that you want to live in. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you. Give me a like if you like this content, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.